Welcome back to the Healed Process podcast. I'm Sarah Sparks, and today we're stepping into the second phase of the healed process, E, for emotional freedom. Emotional freedom is a powerful step to living a healed life. It was for me and for the clients that I've gotten to share it with thus far. But before we can release, we must first locate those emotions and where they're stored within us. Did you know that our bodies hold onto emotional pain, trauma, and old wounds? And they hold onto it in ways that we don't even often realize. And identifying these stored emotions is the very first step towards true freedom. Today, we'll explore how and why emotions get stored, how to recognize where they are held in our bodies, and practical tools to begin this transformative process. So let's dive in. Emotions are energy in motion. Look at the word emotion. Motion, energy in motion. So why do we store emotions in our body? So when we experience strong feelings such as fear, sadness, anger, or even joy, our bodies naturally process and release them. However, when emotions aren't expressed or acknowledged, maybe we've been taught to hide what we feel, shove our feelings down, not fully express ourselves, and maybe because it feels unsafe. We may be feeling overwhelmed. And again, maybe we've been taught to suppress them. If you feel unsafe or overwhelmed or taught to suppress them, then those emotions get stored in the body. And this can happen for several reasons. One, stress response. When we're in a heightened state of stress or trauma, our nervous system shifts into survival mode and emotions can get trapped. Number two, avoidance. Sometimes we avoid feeling certain emotions because they're too painful or uncomfortable. And number three, cultural conditioning. Many of us were taught that emotions like anger or sadness are bad, so we suppress them instead of expressing them. Over time, these unprocessed emotions settle into different parts of our body, showing up as physical pain, tension, or even illness. Have you experienced this? Is this new information to you? I know that it was new information to me as I was diving into this healed process. But how do you recognize stored emotions? Your body is always communicating with you, but you need to learn how to listen. And I want to give you some signs, all right? So that way you can recognize this in yourself. Number one, physical tension or pain. Do you have chronic neck pain or back pain, tightness in your chest, knots in your stomach? These could be clues that emotions like fear, grief, or even anger are being held in there. Number two is emotional reactions. When you're triggered by something, where do you feel it? Does your heart race? Do your hands shake? Because wherever you are feeling when that emotion is being triggered, these physical sensations can point to where the emotions are stored. Number three, unexplained fatigue or illness. Holding on to emotions requires energy. And over time, this can lead to fatigue, digestive issues, or even autoimmune responses. Number four, resistance to certain topics or memories. If you notice yourself avoiding certain conversations or memories, that's often a sign there's an emotional wound tied to them. So these four are common signs that emotions are stored in the body. I really hope this helps you. I'm going to share a bit of my journey with stored emotions. And I'll be honest with you, when I started this work, I had no idea how my body was holding onto the emotions. For years, I ignored the tightness in my stomach, those knots. If you have known me for my whole life, which I know many people don't, but if you are listening and you are a family member or a friend that has been in my life for all of my life, you will know that you've gotten to witness me laying down or missing out on events, weddings, just events in general. I had to go lay down in the car often if I was out and about because my stomach would be hurting. And I thought it was either stress from work or life. But when I finally allowed myself to get curious, I realized those knots in my stomach were fear, anxiety, powerlessness, stress, shame, and guilt. Then the tension in my jaw, oh yeah, that was unspoken anger from times I felt unheard or unsupported. And the moment I began to name these emotions and connect them to their physical locations, everything shifted. I wasn't avoiding the emotion anymore. I was feeling into it. And then with the emotional release technique that I share in the healed process, I used on myself, and I was able to release those emotions. I started to feel lighter, freer, and more in control of my own life. And that's what I want for you too. So there are some steps to locate these stored emotions, and I want to share them with you. And you may be wondering, how do you begin locating these stored emotions? Let me guide you through a simple process you can use anytime. You can write this down if you want to. Number one, create a safe space. Find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be interrupted. Take a few deep breaths and remind yourself that it's safe to feel whatever comes up. It is safe for you to feel. Number two, scan your body. Close your eyes and slowly scan your body from head to toe. Notice any area of tension, tightness, or discomfort. Ask questions. Once you've located a sensation, gently ask yourself, what does this feel like? Does it remind me of a specific event or person? What emotion might be living here? Is it anger, sadness, fear, or something else? Number four, breathe into the sensation. Breathe into the sensation. Allow yourself to connect with the emotion. Don't avoid it anymore. It's time for you to live the emotional freedom. Instead of resisting the sensation, breathe into it. Imagine sending love and compassion to that part of your body. This helps soften the tension and begins the process of release. And the final step, number five, journal your insights. Afterwards, write down what you notice. Over time, patterns may emerge that give you deeper insight into your stored emotions. Enjoy releasing. You are worthy of feeling good all of the time. There's also a few tools for emotional releasing that I want to give you. So once you've located those stored emotions, you can begin releasing them. And here are some effective tools: movement, breath work, The clean and clear heal and seal method that I share in the healed process, and then crying. Movement. It could be dancing, yoga, or even shaking your body to help release trapped energy. Breath work, intentionally breathing practices. They can release those stored emotions and calm your nervous system. The clean and clear heal and seal. It's a special, gentle, emotional releasing technique that I share in the heal process. And it's built for and I use it because it's built for people who are not the aggressor and need to yell and scream to get it out. I have a very gentle, loving soul. And I like to do things with ease and flow and grace. And I found that the techniques to go and smash things or throw things or yell or scream, now they all feel good, but they didn't permanently release those emotions. And so this technique came to me and now I share it. And I'm excited for you to experience it once you feel ready to go through the heal process and join us on this journey. And then the final one that I suggest is crying. Sometimes the best release is simply allowing yourself to cry. And the key here is to trust your body and let it guide you. It knows exactly what is needed to heal. Emotional release is such a vital part of living a healed life. If today's episode resonated with you and you're ready to go deeper, I invite you to take the Discover Your Core Wound quiz. This quiz will help you identify the root of your emotional patterns and give you clarity on what's holding you back. You have to enter in your name and email into the link that's in the episode description, or just go visit www.sarahsparks.love and the quiz will be sent to you right away. There's helpful tips in there. There's explanations of each of the 5 core wounds, and then tips on how to begin healing those core wounds. Let this be your next step in the heal journey. Thank you so much for joining me for this transformative conversation about emotional freedom. Remember, your emotions are not your enemy. They're your guides, showing you where healing is needed. Next week, we'll continue the conversation and this journey by exploring the A in the healed process, alignment with your soul. You won't want to miss it. Until then, take care of yourself, honor your emotions, and remember, healing isn't only possible, it's your birthright. I'm Sarah Sparks, and this is the Healed Process Podcast. See you next time.